Ecuador is the world's leading banana exporter, shipping nearly 8 million boxes every week, over 416 million a year. But how are so many bananas grown, harvested, and delivered to supermarkets worldwide? To find out, we visited a massive banana plantation in Machala, Ecuador, often called the banana capital of the world. This region is home to the largest banana plantation on Earth, covering an area equivalent to 324 football fields. Thanks to its rich soil, steady temperatures, and humid climate, southern Ecuador offers ideal conditions for banana farming. The bananas grown here belong to the Cavendish variety, prized for their sweet flavor, creamy texture, and vibrant color. Each banana tree produces fruit only once in its lifetime. The cycle begins with a worker selecting a shoot from a mature male plant, cleaning the root and planting it like a seed. In about 9 months, this shoot becomes a full-grown banana tree, ready for harvest. As the banana clusters develop, they're wrapped in protective plastic bags to shield them from pests and the elements. Each bag is tied with a color-coded ribbon indicating the estimated harvest date. The plants are pruned regularly. Large, energy-draining flowers are removed to help the fruit grow larger and tastier. At maturity, a banana plant can reach up to 5.8 meters tall and weigh up to 45 kilograms. Because of their size and vulnerability, every plant is secured using a support network to prevent damage from storms or the weight of the fruit. One major threat is a fungal disease called black sigatoka, which spreads through the air. Aerial fungicide applications, guided by GPS, are used to protect the crops. Each plant requires about 36 liters of water daily, so the farm uses an advanced drainage system to prevent root rot, especially during heavy rains. When the bananas are ready, usually 12 to 13 weeks after the first fruit appears, workers measure the bananas, checking for a 3-centimeter radius. Once they're ready, harvesting begins. Bananas are picked while still green so they can ripen during their journey. Workers protect the fruit with foam between the bunches to avoid bruising, as even small marks can lead to rejection. The heavy banana cluster is then cut and gently placed on the shoulder of a worker wearing a padded shield. The remaining stalk is left to nourish the next generation of plants, while fallen leaves are left on the soil to decompose into nutrient-rich humus. Each bunch, weighing around 30 kilograms, is hooked onto a cable pulley system that transports it to the nearby packing facility. There, every batch is labeled with the harvest location and team number for quality tracking. The processing plant sits right in the middle of the plantation. Here, bananas are washed, inspected, and cut into smaller bunches of 5 to 7 bananas. Half of the harvested bananas are sent to supermarkets, the other half to the factory to be processed into crispy banana chips. Here, workers carefully peel the bananas, then divide them into 2 processing lines. On the first line, the bananas are pureed, pressed into thin slices, and then deep fried at 170 to 180 degrees Celsius. Under this stable temperature, the banana mixture turns into crispy golden chips. The bananas are thinly sliced and fried directly on the second line, retaining their natural shape and characteristic sweetness. After frying, the banana chips are dried to reduce the amount of oil, then seasoned with spices such as salt, cheese, or honey, depending on the consumer market. Finally, the product is put through a smart packaging machine integrated with AI, which helps to accurately weigh each bag, seal it tightly, and ensure quality. The snack bags are then packed and transported to distribution points, ready to serve domestic and foreign consumers with the delicious crispy banana flavor. Sweet treats like ice cream, candy, and desserts are loved by people everywhere. Behind their irresistible taste is a key ingredient: sugar. In the food industry, sugar isn't just for sweetness. It also preserves food, enhances texture, adds color, and boosts flavor. It mainly comes from sugarcane and sugar beets. Sugar has a long history, with early cultivation by native New Guineans around 8000 BC, making it one of the oldest human-made products. It was once so valuable that it was locked in vaults. In 1751, sugarcane was first planted in Louisiana, giving rise to America's sugar industry, which now supports over 142,000 jobs in 22 states. Today, sugar is produced in about 120 countries, with 80% from sugarcane and 20% from sugar beets. The sugar-making process starts with harvesting. Sugarcane stalks are cut into pieces called billets by machines, then loaded into bins and taken to factories. Sugar beets are harvested in fall and winter using specialized machines. The beets are cleaned and trucked to processing plants. Once delivered, both sugarcane and sugar beets go through cleaning to remove soil and debris. They are washed in water-filled drums, flumes, or belts. Clean sugarcane is crushed by rollers or hammer crushers. Sugar beets are sliced into thin strips called causettes. Both are treated with hot water to open plant cells and release juice. Juice extraction comes next. Crushed sugarcane is milled and the juice separated from the fiber, bagasse, which is later used as fuel. Sugar beet juice is extracted in tall vessels, where beet slices are lifted upward against flowing hot water. The raw juice, usually dark and murky, goes through purification. First, sulfur dioxide is added in tall towers to lighten the juice, a step called sulfidation. Then, the juice is treated with milk of lime and carbon dioxide to separate impurities in a process known as carbonation. This forms a sludge that settles to the bottom and is removed, leaving clarified juice. The purified juice is thickened using vacuum evaporators, concentrating the sugar content to 50 to 65%. A dense, nearly colorless syrup forms as remaining water evaporates. Next is crystallization. The syrup is boiled in vacuum pans and tiny sucrose crystals called seeds are added to trigger sugar crystal formation. The mixture, now a thick paste called masaquite, is stirred and cooled in a crystallizer to grow more crystals. The centrifugation stage separates sugar from molasses. Masaquite is spun at high speeds in a metal basket, forcing molasses out through perforation. Clean water is used to rinse the sugar, and molasses is stored separately.
every day.
Around 83 million rolls of toilet paper are used across the globe. It's one of the most essential household products, but how exactly is it made? We visited a paper factory to discover how toilet paper is produced. Toilet paper was first developed in 1857 by American entrepreneur Joseph Gaiety, who introduced it under the name therapeutic paper. Initially sold as pre-cut sheets, a major innovation came in 1890 with the creation of the roll format, making it far more convenient and accessible. It's estimated that the average person uses approximately 100 rolls per year, totaling around 21 billion rolls worldwide each year, enough to wrap around the Earth multiple times. To help reduce deforestation, the industry increasingly turns to recycling. But turning rough used paper into soft, white, absorbent toilet paper is a complex process perfected over the past 150 years. In this state-of-the-art facility, toilet paper is produced using an advanced recycling process. It all begins with tons of used paper from schools, offices, and universities. Each sheet is carefully sorted. Only high-quality, bright and white paper that meets strict standards is selected. These papers are rich in fiber and easy to process into soft toilet paper. Once collected and sorted, they're compressed into large bales, which makes storage and handling more efficient. The transformation then begins. Around 200 tons of paper are recycled here each day. The recycled paper enters a massive machine called a pulper, a giant industrial blender that mixes water and paper at high speed, breaking it down into individual fibers. More water than paper is used to create a slurry, known as pulp. Rotating blades stir this mix for about 10 minutes, separating the cellulose fibers. These long, flexible fibers are essential for creating new paper, but before it can be used, the pulp needs to be cleaned. First, it passes through filters and screens to remove large contaminants like staples, glue, and plastic bits. After this mechanical cleaning, the pulp still appears dark, mostly due to remaining ink. One common way to remove ink is through flotation. Air is introduced to create bubbles, while surfactants are added to help ink stick to the bubbles, which then rise to the surface, forming a removable foam. Once the pulp is ink-free, it's pressed through rollers to squeeze out water. Then, rotating blades cut it in preparation for bleaching. The pulp still isn't white because it contains small amounts of newspaper which has lignin, a natural compound that must be chemically removed. In the bleaching tower, chemicals and controlled heat work together to whiten the pulp. To achieve the strength and softness toilet paper is known for, The process uses two types of virgin fiber: short fibers from hardwood for softness and brightness, and long fibers from softwood for strength. The bleached pulp is then spread onto a moving sheet and passed through a powerful dryer. Water evaporates rapidly, and the fibers bond together, forming a thin sheet of paper, just 0.1 millimeters thick, in less than a second. This sheet is wound into giant rolls, or mother reels, each holding up to 75 kilometers of paper. These are later cut into the smaller 10 centimeters rolls we all know. In the conversion section of the factory, the paper is unwound and prepped for cutting. A perforation machine adds tiny breaks between sheets, usually 10-12 centimeters long, making it easier to tear. Next is embossing, where patterns are pressed into the paper, adding texture, thickness, and absorbency. Meanwhile, two large cardboard sheets are glued diagonally to form continuous cardboard tubes, then cut into 165 cm sections. At the winding station, two sheets of toilet paper are rolled together onto these tubes, creating two-ply paper. Once a roll is finished, a blade cuts it automatically, and the process continues with the next tube. Glue seals the end, and a circular saw slices the large rolls into 16 standard-sized rolls. Finally, toilet paper is ready to be packed. Rolls for commercial use are individually wrapped in paper, while those for home use are bundled in plastic packs of 4 to 30 rolls. And just like that, what was once tons of used paper has been transformed in about 15 hours into soft, clean toilet paper, ready to return to our homes. Wagyu beef is the most expensive meat in the world. A single steak can cost over $300, and in Japan, where it's produced, these cows are treated like royalty. Some are even assigned personal security. Every animal is raised under strict conditions and fed a specially designed diet to achieve the exquisite marbling that melts in your mouth. But how is the world's most luxurious beef actually made? We visited a Wagyu cattle farm in Japan to uncover the secrets behind this extraordinary meat. The most prized variety, Kobe beef, comes from a specific breed called Tajima, raised exclusively in Hyogo Prefecture. Its signature is the rich intramuscular fat, marbling, that makes the meat incredibly tender and juicy. These cows are mostly of the Japanese black breed and are raised for around 30 months, almost twice as long as regular cattle, to allow the marbling to fully develop. Only a few thousand cows per year meet the rigorous standards to be certified as Kobe beef, adding to its exclusivity and price. A single cow can sell for up to $50,000, and Japan exports roughly 7,000 tons of Wagyu annually, worth nearly $4 billion. The process starts at birth. Calves are raised in separate stalls, bottle-fed, and cared for until about 10 months old. Then they're sold at auction, sometimes for prices up to 40 times higher than American calves. Farmers who buy them look closely at genetics and physical traits, aiming to raise only top-tier animals. During the fattening stage, cows are kept in small, comfortable stalls and fed 3 times a day with a special blend of whole grains, including corn, barley, and rice bran. They also enjoy clean water, fresh air, and a stress-free environment, because stress releases cortisol, which lowers meat quality. Wagyu cows are never rushed. No growth hormones are used. Their diet is adjusted gradually to encourage steady weight gain and rich marbling. They can consume up to 5 tons of food over 2 years. Some are even given small amounts of beer during hot months to stimulate appetite. And deep tissue massages are used to keep muscles relaxed and blood flowing, believed to improve marbling even further. To reduce stress, farms are built in quiet, rural areas. Cows are separated if they don't get along, and soft music is sometimes played in the barns to create a calming atmosphere. The result? Healthy, relaxed animals that produce perfectly marbled, high-grade meat. Once they reach the ideal weight, the cows are sent to certified slaughterhouses. The meat is butchered under strict hygiene protocols, kept at low temperatures, and carefully handled to maintain quality. Then it's graded based on marbling, meat color, and fat quality. Only the top-grade cuts, A5 Kobe beef, earn certification labels that guarantee origin and excellence. Every package includes detailed information about the animal's lineage, diet, and processing method. ensuring authenticity and traceability. From the peaceful farms of Japan to the world's finest restaurants, this beef is grilled and served to satisfy the most refined palates. And that's how the most expensive beef on earth is made, one careful step at a time.